All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Tanvi Taneja. The headlines. Centre strongly pleads for reservation of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in promotion in government jobs before Supreme Court. GST Council meets in New Delhi today to discuss MSME sector's suggestions and concerns. In Jammu and Kashmir, 5 terrorists killed in an encounter in Shopian district. US asks China to resolve long-standing trade issues before imposing retaliatory tariffs. India elected the president of the Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development for 2 years. And PV Sindhu enters the World Badminton Championships last 4 to face Akane Yamaguchi of Japan today for a place in the final. The centre strongly pleaded before the Supreme Court for reservation of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in promotion in government jobs. Attorney General K.K. Venugopal told a 5-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra yesterday that SCs and STs must account for 22.5% in job promotion or the real motive for reservations will get defeated. He said reservations were given to SCs and STs to correct a wrong as they had suffered for more than 1,000 years. We have a report.
The 5-judge bench is examining whether its 12-year-old verdict that had dealt with the issue of creamy layer for reservation in-job promotion to SC/STs need to be revisited by 7-judge bench. The Attorney General told the court that the 2006 verdict has virtually stopped the promotions by putting criteria like backwardness, inadequate representation and overall administrative efficiency. To which the bench said, according to the verdict, accelerated promotion to SCs and STs can only be given by the state if they are inadequately represented and it is necessary for overall efficiency of administration. The bench questioned why states have not come forward with any quantifiable data to decide the inadequacy of representation. Mr. Venugopal replied that there was no need to have a quantifiable data to prove that such categories of employees suffered from backwardness. The hearing remained inconclusive and would continue on 16th of this month. Tripli Srivastava, News Desk.
The Goods and Services Tax GST Council is meeting in New Delhi today. The meeting, to be chaired by Finance Minister Piyush Goyal, will discuss the concerns and suggestions of the micro, small and medium enterprises, among other issues. The 29th meeting of the Council is also likely to discuss the recommendations of the group of ministers headed by Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Sushil Kumar Modi, which approved a proposal yesterday for incentivizing digital payments through the RuPay card and Bheem app by way of cashbacks. Once implemented, customers making payments using the RuPay card or Bheem UPI will get a cashback of 20% of the total GST amount, subject to a maximum of 100 rupees. The Bihar Deputy Chief Minister said the move is intended to encourage use of digital mode of payment, especially in semi-urban and rural areas. In its last meeting, the Council had reduced tax rates on over 80 items and exempted sanitary napkins, rakhis, stone, marble, wooden deities and sal leaves from GST. In Jammu and Kashmir, 5 terrorists have been killed in an encounter with security forces in Kilora area of Shopian district. Security sources said 4 terrorists were gunned down this morning, while 1 was killed in the initial phase of the encounter last evening. They said the operation was launched on the basis of specific information about the presence of terrorists in the area. The killed terrorists are cadres of Lashkar-e-Taiba. The operation is still on. In Andhra Pradesh, at least 11 labourers were killed and several injured in a blast at a granite quarry at Hathi Belagal village in Kurnool district last night. The blast took place in a shed at the quarry after gelatine sticks used to blast granite exploded. District Collector Satyanarayan said 10 labourers lost their lives on the spot, while 1 succumbed to injuries on way to hospital. The condition of the injured is stated to be critical. Most of the victims hailed from Odisha. Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has ordered officials to provide the best medical care to the injured. President Ramnath Kovind will be on a 4-day visit to Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Kerala from today. Mr. Kovind will reach Hyderabad this evening and address the 7th convocation of IIT Hyderabad tomorrow. An official release said the President will visit Tamil Nadu tomorrow itself to meet DMK chief M. Karunanidhi, who is admitted at the Kaveri Hospital in Chennai. On Monday, Mr. Kovind will inaugurate the Festival of Democracy in Thiruvananthapuram to mark the conclusion of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Kerala Legislative Assembly. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The continuing US-China trade war has hit a new low. Calling retaliatory tariffs levied by Beijing on American products unfair, Washington has asked Beijing to address the long-standing concerns about its trading practices first. The Trump administration's statement came yesterday after Beijing announced that it will impose new duties on $60 billion worth of US goods amidst a trade war between the world's top two economies. China's move came in retaliation to the announcement by the Trump administration that it is likely to impose another $200 billion worth of import tariffs on Chinese products. Earlier, U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer had urged China to stop its unfair practices, open its market and engage in true market competition. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj called on Kyrgyz President Surunbay Jeenbekov and discussed measures to expand and reinvigorate India's ties with the Central Asian country across all sectors. Ms. Swaraj arrived at Isyk-Kul in eastern Kyrgyzstan yesterday on a two-day visit after wrapping up her tour to Kazakhstan. She will also meet Foreign Minister Abdeldaev and other top leaders of the country to discuss ways to strengthen bilateral ties in areas such as defense, science and technology, and health. In the last segment of her three-nation Central Asian tour, she would arrive in the Uzbek capital Tashkent today. India has been elected as the president of the Asia-Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development, AIBD, for a period of 2 years. It got elected against Iran during the voting, which took place at the 44th annual gathering of AIBD in Colombo yesterday. Director General of All India Radio, F. Shehryar, was re-elected as chair of the executive board. Our correspondent reports that broadcasters from 26 countries in the region, including India, are full members of the organization.
AIBD was established in 1977 as an intergovernmental organization to achieve a vibrant and cohesive media environment in the region. All India Radio, Doordarshan and Broadcast Engineers Society are full-time members of the organization. The selection of India as president reflects on the growing capabilities of broadcast industry in the country as well as India's leadership position in the region. Sri Lanka was elected vice chair of the executive board, which is authorized to prepare roadmap for policy and resource development of member countries for broadcast sector. Santosh Kumar for AIR News, Colombo.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has said that Yemen is likely to be struck by another major wave of cholera cases and called for a 3-day truce to allow vaccinations. The warning came a day after a deadly airstrike on the country's largest hospital in the rebel-held port city of Hodeidah on Thursday, where WHO staff was preparing the cholera vaccination drive at the time of the attack. WHO's Emergency Response Director Peter Salama told reporters in Geneva that Yemen have had 2 major waves of cholera epidemics in recent years, and unfortunately the trend that we've seen in recent days to weeks suggests that we may be on the cusp of the 3rd major wave. Back home, brushing aside concerns of rainfall deficit, the Met Department has said monsoon rains will be normal this month as well as in the next, raising hopes for agricultural operations during the Kharif season. The department said distribution of rainfall has so far been very good across the country except in Bihar, Jharkhand and northeastern states. Meanwhile, Uttarakhand experienced heavy rain last evening, leaving the streets in state capital Dehradun and its adjoining areas heavily waterlogged. The Met Office has forecast heavy rain over the next 72 hours in Dehradun, Pauri, Tehri, Rudraprayag, Chamoli, Nainital, Bageshwar and Pithoragarh districts. The State Emergency Operations Center at Dehradun has advised that Char Dham pilgrims should not be allowed to go to higher Himalayan region in case of a heavy downpour. In Uttar Pradesh, incessant rain in different parts of the state has claimed 17 more lives in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to 133. Many districts in the Terai region are reeling under floods. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed officials to shift people from the dilapidated buildings and intensify the rescue and relief operation. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Chief Minister will be visiting Lakhimpur Kheri district of Tarai region of the state, where Sharda River flooded many villages. He will later go to Karnailganj Tehsil of Gonda district, where more than 1 lakh people are affected due to flood situation. The state in Ghagra eroded a large chunk of temporary embankment constructed around the old Elgin Charsadi embankment. Several villages are marooned in Karnailganj and Tarabganj Tehsil of the district. NDRF teams were called in Sonbhadra district after water coming from cracks in Balui embankment marooned 12 villages. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In the northeast, though flood situation in Assam has shown signs of improvement at some places, Nagaland has been hit by heavy landslides. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana aims to safeguard the health of women and children by providing them with a clean cooking fuel, LPG. Under the scheme, a deposit-free LPG connection is provided to a woman member of the BPL family and households with differently abled persons. Our Jammu correspondent reports that Jammu and Kashmir is one of the best performing states in the country in implementing the scheme. Here is the ground report.
Besides this, the beneficiaries also identified from SC/ST households, beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, Antodaya Anna Yojana, forest dwellers and other weaker sections of the society. The beneficiaries of the scheme are of the view that PMUY has been a revolutionary initiative which has transformed their lives.
मेरा नाम प्रभा कुमारी है, मैं बरजानी से हूँ। जो सिलेंडर मिले सभी को, जिससे बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हुआ है। पहले माताएं लड़कियां अपने घर में चूल्हों पे खाना बनाती थी, जिससे धुआं वगैरह आता था और उनको काफी ज्यादा परेशानियां होती थी।
मेरा नाम प्रियंका है। हम सारे चूल्हे पे खाना बनाते थे और उससे बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स आती थी हमें सिलेंडर प्रोवाइड किए हैं की वजह से अच्छे से खाना वगैरह बना सकते हैं।
Since the inception of the scheme in the state in September 2016, so far over 5,70,000 free LPG connections have been issued across the state under the scheme against the 6,20,000 beneficiaries whose KYC has been done.
मेरा नाम कृष्णा है, मैं पाटी गांव से रहने वाली हूँ। सिलेंडर मिल रहे हैं सभी को। सरकार की तरफ से बहुत खुशी हुई है कि हमें भी सिलेंडर मिला है। पहले तो हम लकड़ियों से चूल्हा जलाते थे।
The implementation of the scheme is still underway and the concerned agencies are making all-out efforts to ensure that no eligible beneficiary is left out. Yogesh Sharma, AIR News, Jammu.
In sports, ace Indian shuttler PV Sindhu has stormed into the semi-finals of the World Badminton Championships at Nanjing, China. In the quarter-final last night, world number 3 defeated 8th seed Nozomi Okuhara of Japan in straight games. She will play today world number 2 Akane Yamaguchi of Japan for a place in the final. Sindhu is the only Indian left in the tournament. And now for an overview of today's newspapers. It's over to Saira Mujtaba.
Thank you, Tanvi. Most newspapers today lead with the centre's push for SC/ST quota in job promotions. The DNA writes, government says SC/ST quota in promotions a must. The Hindu reports that the government calls on the apex court to revisit the 2006 Nagraj ruling, which had said the state will have to see that its reservation provision doesn't breach the ceiling limit of 50% or obliterate the creamy layer. The row over the Antigua citizenship of PNB scam accused Mehul Choksi has also been prominently highlighted by the papers on their front pages. 10 months before he fled, Choksi got Mumbai Passport Office OK for Antigua, headlines the Indian Express. The Pioneer writes, SEBI rejects Antigua's Choksi claim. The Asian Age has quoted Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh as saying, NRC process fair, no Indian will be left out. The Hindu has quoted the minister in its headline, Trinamool MPs detained to maintain peace. Finally, orders out Justice K.M. Joseph in Supreme Court, headlines the Indian Express. Supreme Court gets 3 judges, 7 High Court's new chief, notes the Hindustan Times. And finally, in news of great concern, the Times of India reports, Sweden loses its tallest peak to global warming because record heat has been melting away the tip of a glacier that sits atop the country's Kebnekaise mountain. And with that, it's back to you, Tanvi.
Thank you, Sarah. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Centre strongly pleads for reservation of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in promotion in government jobs before Supreme Court. GST Council meets in New Delhi today to discuss MSME sector's suggestions and concerns. In Jammu and Kashmir, 5 terrorists killed in an encounter in Shopian district. US asks China to resolve long-standing trade issues before imposing retaliatory tariffs. India elected the president of the Asia-Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development for 2 years. And PV Sindhu enters the World Badminton Championships last 4 to face Akane Yamaguchi of Japan today for a place in the final. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.